Welcome, fellas, to the Captain Saver Bro Show, episode 35. The most thorough analysis of the pull away. That's right. We're going to talk about pullbacks, why women pullbacks. We're going to get very, very deep into it because on these YouTube streets, on these internet streets, on these social media streets, everything is surface level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig up under the hood and I'm going to let you guys know why. I'm going to let you guys know what's going on up under that hood so you can examine it. When you have information and when you have thorough information, you can come up with a thorough solution. I'll also give you guys solutions as well. But first, before we get into the game, this show is brought to you by The Players Club. ThePlayersClub.vip. Go to ThePlayersClub.vip. That's my monthly membership men's community. You pay $25 a month. You get personal access to me. You can message me whenever you want to. You can offer, video suggestions, whatever. You can also ask me any of your dating questions, your relationship questions, your life questions. We also meet twice a month. Twice a month, for 2-3 hours at a time, sometimes longer than that, chopping up game, answering all questions. You can bring your DMs, you can bring your text threads. You can bring your problems, whatever problem you have in the dating and relationship world. I'll, help you out and I can give you answers and solutions. So we do that twice a month. You also get discounts on all courses and you get discounts on personal one-on-one sessions. So that's the Players Club at theplayersclub.vip. Go join right now. Also, I want to let you guys know that I'm having a free training on the 3 secrets to make a woman fall in love with you. That's right. I'm going to give you 3 of my best secrets that you can implement into your game right now for free and get a massive improvement in the quality of your relationships and the quality of your life, and that actually make women fall for you and fall in love with you. What I need you to do is go sign up for free. Click the link in the bio, the description, wherever you see this at, or if you're seeing this on Instagram, message me secrets. Send me a DM on Instagram to KINGDRESIM. King Dreism. Send me a message there that says secrets and I'll take care of you. But yeah, click the link in the bio, register for free. The class is on January 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Seating is limited because I don't have the platform only hosts so many people. So seating is limited. So go sign up right now. Time is running out. Y'all know when it's free shit, people flood it. So go sign up. 3 secrets to make a woman fall in love with you. But anyway, let's get into this game. All right, fellas, let's get it. Let's jump straight into this. We're going to talk about the pullback game, or as some say, the pull away. And this is an old ancient technique. And depending on how it's used and how you look at it, it can be a form of manipulation, or it can be a seduction tactic, just depending on how you look at it. The reason we're going to break this down and I'm going to turn it into a whole show is because despite the information that's on YouTube, the surface level information, by the way, despite the information that's on YouTube and social media about women doing the pullback and men, and you using the pullback or whatever, it's still not enough information. It's very basic surface level, and guys are not understanding thoroughly what's going on. And in order for you to have a thorough solution, a thorough answer to the problem, a thorough strategy, you have to have a thorough understanding of the game. And that's what I try to do with my podcast, my shows, especially in my courses, definitely the courses, but that's another topic for another day, which you can get at saverbroacademy.com, by the way. But when you have a thorough solution, a thorough understanding, you have a thorough you can adapt a thorough strategy and you can develop a thorough solution. And again, I try to, make my game as thorough as possible so you can understand it. You see what I'm saying? So what I wanted to do today was break it down and go, in depth a little bit further and lift the hood up, and so you can understand thoroughly why women pull back, when you should pull back and things like that. Because if you look at the information that's out there, when you look at the information that's out there on YouTube or social media, let a lot of these guys tell it when a woman is pulling away from you or when a woman's pulling back, there must be another dude. And that's not always the case. In fact, that's not the case a lot of the times. You see what I'm saying? There can be a multitude of reasons why somebody will pull away their attention and pull away their their affection or whatever they're giving you. Now, I'm not saying that it's right that they do this, but you have to understand what's going on. That way, when you do have a woman who pulls away from you, you know how to deal with it, and not just, not just so quick to charge a person to the game, because that woman can be the best thing that ever happened to you, but you charge her to the game because she pulled away for a legitimate reason. And then, now I'm not saying don't have an abundance mindset and don't you chase after people and just be fixated on this one person. But why break something that's not fixed? I mean, why throw away something that don't need to be thrown away? Why break something that's not broken? You see what I'm saying? And if you can salvage something by a little checking or rearranging your game, and you can salvage something good, why not? You see what I'm saying? But you have to understand that there's a multitude of reasons, right? Again, on these streets, they teach you the doom and gloom part of things, because you guys got to understand something. The doom and gloom, oh, the world is ending, oh, she's cheating, oh, that gets more clicks, and it appeals to your darker nature, which is more exciting and it's more entertaining, and it's actually a lot of drama. You see what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff is basically drama. It's not drama in a sense of the Love and Hip Hop or Housewives of New Jersey or Housewives of Atlanta or watching the Kardashians or whatever. It's not necessarily that type of drama, but it's still drama in a sense of hearing about people cheating, hearing about conflict, catastrophizing based on, certain conflict, and, oh, she's going to cheat, or there must be another dude, or you see what I'm saying? She's fucking the male friend. Well, if they got a male friend, they more than likely fucking or been fucked, but that's another story for another day. But a lot of this stuff is for clicks and it's for drama and it's for entertainment, and it's not actually edifying you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times you guys take a lot of this advice and you ruin your relationship. So that's basically, what today is about. That's what I wanted to chop it up with you guys about today. Now, what is the pullback? The pullback is a technique, right? Or it's not even a technique, a pullback or a pull away. Some people say pull away, some people say pullback. But this is basically where a person withdraws their attention, or they withdraw their gifts, or they withdraw their sex, or they withdraw their time, or whatever they were giving you, they withdraw themselves from the situation. It can be slowly or it can be abruptly. You see what I'm saying? But they take away themselves from the situation. And what this does is that it gets the other person's wheels spinning, and it gets them into chase mode and fix it mode. You see what I'm saying? It makes them want to fix the issue, and it gets them emotional. It opens them up emotionally. And when you're open and vulnerable emotionally, it's easy for a person to get their way with you. It's easy for a person to manipulate you. It's easy for a person to assert whatever agenda they have over you. You see what I'm saying? And so this is what the pullback is for, right? And a lot of women use the pullback move. Pretty much in I would say 100% of relationships, women are going to use the pullback moves. It happened to me recently. No matter how thorough your game is, no matter how quality of the woman, no matter where the woman comes from, at some point throughout the situation, there's going to be something that makes them withdraw their attention from you without consulting you, basically. You see what I'm saying? Without communicating with you, they're just going to draw back a little bit or a lot. This happens pretty much 100% of the time. And it recently happened to me. I checked it ASAP, right? It happened to me. Story time. So there was this video. I may have responded to it on TikTok and Instagram. I think I did respond to it on TikTok, where there was a woman saying that men fall in love with women when they chase, and that there's a bunch of drama and chaos or whatever. And this went viral, and a bunch of women believed this. So the woman sent this to me like, hey, what do you think about this? Is this true? This is an interesting phenomenon. I was like, don't you even fucking try it. I am not the one for that bullshit. If you don't even try that shit, I ain't the one, right? So we laughed about it or whatever. We chopped it up about it a little bit more, and I explained to her why it is certain guys go after or they chase or they feed into drama. And I explained to her how it's just basically an ego thing. But once the ego is satisfied, the dude pretty much go on about his business or whatever. So the next morning, now mind you, this woman literally texts me good morning every single morning. Good night, good morning. Every single morning, I get a good morning text with a whole bunch of heart eyes, king, crown emojis. Every single morning. It's not a one. When I wake up, if I can't count on nothing, I can count on that, right? And so this particular morning, she didn't send it, and so I already knew what was going on, right? I already knew what was going on. Like, this girl done seen this damn fucking video from last night, and now she trying me, right? And so I basically put a stop to it. And I'm like, listen, hey, that's not what we doing over here. We ain't playing them type of games. Don't even play with me like that. Don't play with me like that, because I'm not one of them dudes that she talking about. You're going to lose out on something good. Don't play with me like that. And that was understood, and it haven't happened again. So whenever you come across a situation to where, and that was something light, and I didn't really take that to heart. You see what I'm saying? But I'm glad that it happened that way. I'm glad that it happened that way so she can know and I can assert myself, hey, I'm not the one. It was kind of like playful, because she was like, well, I just wanted to see what you was going to do. Like, I wanted to see how you was going to respond. And I'm like, hey, you're not going to get what you're looking for. Trust me. That's your warning. But, I'm glad that it happened that way and not, on a more serious note, because I would have had to really pull out my Mac boots and let it do what it do. But, I didn't have to do that. So, shout out to her for trying it like that. But, I said all that to say that at some point they're going to always try you. And a lot of the times, again, it's not trying you. They may really feel that they have to withdraw themselves from the situation. And so you have to understand that. You see what I'm saying? But no matter who you are, fellas, no matter who you are, no matter how much game you got, no matter how good you look, at some point, a woman is going to always pull away from you or always pull back from you. At some point, it may be a big pullback, it may be small, but they're going to always withdraw some form of attention away from you for whatever the reasons. There's a multitude of reasons, which I'll get into later, right? But they're going to always pull this shit. The important thing is that you do not go chasing them. You cannot go chasing them when they do this shit. You cannot go chasing them. If you do, it's going to change the tide of your relationship forever. And now you're going to have a person who, whenever they wants to get something from you, or whenever they feel like it, or whatever the case may be, they're going to pull this and disrupt your flow and disrupt your emotions and shit. And you don't want to be in the palms of somebody else. You don't want to be under the heel of somebody else like that, where they're controlling your emotions based on them taking their attention away. And they know that they know that this works when you go chasing after them. So you cannot chase after them. I'm gonna teach you what to do exactly, but once we get further into the game, once we get, a little bit later on, I'm gonna teach you what to do when a woman does this. Now, men pull back too. Now, this is one of the first things that I learned. Actually, this is one of the first things that I learned as far as the game and seduction. I learned this when I was in high school. I learned the pullback method. And the way I learned it, to be honest, was a form of emotional abuse. I would say emotional abuse. I know that's a little rough, a little hard, or a little harsh, but it is what it is. And it's basically where, what I learned to do was, you get a woman, whenever a woman is into you, once y'all start talking, you talking to the chick or whatever, everything is going good. And then you suddenly start to pull back, right? And what this does is she'll sense that something is wrong, or that she made a mistake, or that she's going to lose you, and she'll go in overdrive with the treatment. And then now she's open, and you can get her to do whatever you wanted her to do at this point, because she didn't want to lose you. Remember, back in the days, the game was a lot different because we didn't have social media, and women didn't have the abundance of options that they have. You see what I'm saying? And I'll say that the pullback game does work. I don't teach that, because that does come back to haunt you. That does come back to bite you in your ass. And I'm gonna get into that in a second. But I don't teach that form of game, because it's just not, although it works in the it works in in the short term. It bites you in the ass long term. But so yeah, I learned this when I was in high school, and it worked like a charm. It still actually worked today. You can still do it today. Now, on some of these Instagram hoes and these new age hoes, these new young chicks, that shit ain't gonna work. And you have to wait until a woman is really attached to you for it to work. Women they not with that bullshit today. Women on some other shit today, I'm telling you. But there are situations where you should pull back. You should withdraw your attention, right? As a man, when you're dealing with a woman, there are situations where you it's okay to do that. Now, if again, to do it as manipulation, to do it as manipulation when, everything is going good and you suddenly pull back, that's not, again, you'll get short-term results, but that's not going to work long-term. You see what I'm saying? So I don't advise you do that. But if ever a woman is not being, cooperative, or, she's not being submissive, or she's giving you a headache, or she's being disrespectful, you have to pull back. You see what I'm saying? You have to disengage. Again, like I say, we do not negotiate with terrorists. You must disengage whenever a woman is disrespecting you, not cooperative, not playing ball, not being, not treating you good, whatever the case, however you want to call it, you have to disengage. You must pull away. You see what I'm saying? Now, going into situations with women, it's important that you communicate your boundaries effectively in the beginning before any of this shit happens, so she understands what's happening. You don't want to, you can blindside a motherfucker, that's cool, but you want to make sure you're doing everything right on the front end. Going into it on the date, say, look, all that bullshit, I'm not with the bullshit, I ain't for it, I'm not going to even entertain it, so that they know when they fuck up, they know what's coming. You see what I'm saying? But that's cool to pull back, because no man should be in a situation to where a woman is mistreating him, or a woman is not treating him good, or disrespecting him, or half-assing him. You shouldn't be in that situation. You should always remove yourself. And the only time you put yourself back in a situation is when it's understood that the problem is not going to happen anymore, or that you'll be getting treated better, or whatever. You see what I'm saying? But that's when you should pull back. Make sure you're not in situations to where, you're being disrespected, or you're being mistreated, or a woman is giving you the bare minimum, or half-assing you. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes it may take for you to withdraw for them to get their shit together, for them to get their mind right, especially after effective communication. Now, back in the days, I used to pull back first before the communication, but now I make sure I communicate first. You see what I'm saying? That way, on the back end, I'm solid on the back end, and I did everything right. There ain't no holes in my game on the back end, and I communicate. Because when you leave stones unturned, or when you leave holes in your game, and you leave things for doubt, there's always an excuse. Women will, if a woman has if you give a woman an inch, she gonna take a mile. So if there's an excuse, she gonna take the motherfucker. And so what I do now is I communicate effectively off the rip. Hey, listen, that's something I'm not gonna do. You see what I'm saying? That ain't what we doing over here, and I'm gonna have to remove myself if that's what you're gonna be doing. Or, hey, don't talk to me like that, because I can't be in no situation when you talking to me like that. But if you don't do this and you just wait on them to fuck up or whatever, and you just wait on them to fuck up, and then after they fuck up, you do it, there's always gonna be well, I didn't know, I'm not perfect, I'm human, accept me at my this and this and that, and now you arguing that back and forth instead of, you know what I'm saying? And that was the type of shit that I would run into when I was younger. But now I've learned to communicate my shit. So it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Bitch, you don't play ball, your ass going on the bench. If you don't play ball, you going on the bench. You see what I'm saying? But so that's when a man should pull back. Anything other than that, if you want to manipulate somebody or anything like that, you don't have to manipulate a woman to get what you want. You don't have to play mind games and head games to get anything out of a woman. You just don't have to do that. And I advise you not to. You understand what I'm saying? But that's when you should pull back as a man. Now, real quick, before we get into it, I want to give you guys the dangers of when you use pullback as a manipulation tactic. There's dangers. You're going to get what you want in the beginning. At first, you're going to get what you want. You're going to get a woman who's like, oh, my God, I'll do whatever to have you and suck your dick good and do whatever for you. You're going to get that in the moment. But what happens is you water down your game. It's not as effective when you really need it. It's like the boy who cried wolf. You know the story of the boy who cried wolf? Google it if you don't, for my younger guys. They used to teach us this in elementary school. The boy who cried wolf. It's just like the boy who cried wolf. So what happens is, at first it's effective, but you're using it for bullshit. Right? So now, as time passes on into the relationship, when she actually do something and you have to withdraw yourself, it don't mean she's used to it now. You see what I'm saying? And now your punishment ain't effective because you've been using it for bullshit. Another thing is that when women get wind of you playing games like that, they start to lose respect for you. You see what I'm saying? They may not leave you right then and there, but once a woman start to lose respect for you, the woman you had is no longer, and she gives you a version of herself to where that she can fuck with you and still be secure and still not hurt and still, still deal with you. And it's more than likely a more masculine version of herself, basically. You see what I'm saying? So you never want to play head games and mind bet games, because when they catch you and they find out, or when they peep your game, they gonna not trust you and they gonna lose respect for you. You see what I'm saying? Now, another thing, you have to be careful who you pulling back on. Now, if it's a situation to where, because a lot of y'all ain't gonna listen to me and you're gonna do the pullback move anyway, when shit going good, just gonna pull back or whatever, because a lot of guys teach that. Y'all ain't gonna listen to me, right? But y'all ain't gonna listen to me, so I'm about to teach you about something. Now, whenever you have a woman who violating you, or she ain't playing ball, or she's stressing you out, whatever, you always remove yourself. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and it ain't no negative consequences. Don't worry about the negative consequences, because it's more you'll have a more negative consequence than you pulling away. From you pulling away, you'll have a more negative consequence if you stay there and deal with the bullshit versus you pulling away. You see what I'm saying? So always understand that. But however, if you one of them guys who ain't gonna listen, nowadays the women today are a lot different. So you can't be dealing with a woman 2, 3, 4 months or whatever, especially if she ain't got no deep attachment to you and you pull back, bruh, that ain't gonna do nothing. That ain't gonna hurt nothing. That ain't gonna solve nothing. Excuse me, let me plug my computer up. That ain't gonna do nothing. That ain't gonna hurt nothing. That ain't gonna solve nothing. It ain't gonna do shit. It ain't gonna hurt shit. It ain't gonna solve shit. All she gonna do is turn her Tinder apps on, or go get some attention online, or go fuck with one of her other dudes or something like that. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these younger women today, they not going for that bullshit, and they playing the game. And I'm not talking about a good decent woman. And I ain't talking about that. But just like one of the average women that's out here, these little average hoes that's out here, you fucking with them trying that shit, you gonna get what you looking for. They not on that. You see what I'm saying? Especially if they don't have no attachment. You go to pulling back, they start to think, oh, you inconsistent, or you, especially for something that if a woman know that she's done something, or she know that you upset about something, she understands that you gonna take away from her. But if you just doing this shit just to do it with these little young chicks, that it ain't gonna affect them. Now, if you just doing it to do it with one of these older chicks, in their mind, they're gonna say, okay, here's a dude that's inconsistent. I can't fuck with that. You see what I'm saying? It don't hit like it used to hit, especially if the woman don't have a deep attachment to you. Now, it does work if a woman have a deep attachment to you and she's a good quality woman and she ain't really been out here like that with a lot of experience. It does work. But at the end of the day, you training her for the bullshit, basically, when you just doing it all willy-nilly and not really, there's no method or no rhyme or reason behind it. You see what I'm saying? All you doing is training her for the bullshit. So when it's time to put your game down for real, she's desensitized to it. You understand what I'm saying? So just again, it's dangers that come with that whole pullback shit. So just make sure you doing it. When you do it for a justified cause, for a justified reason, which I've already explained. Now, this is how you deal with pullbacks. And once I teach you how to deal with the pullbacks, there's only one way to deal with the shit, right? But I'm going to tell you exactly what to say. And you can read off the playbook Once I do that, then we're going to get into the reasons that women pull back, because I think that's very important to understand. So when you see the shit, you know what to do about it and you know how to handle it. But if a woman pulls away from you, especially if you haven't done anything, if you haven't disrespected her, you haven't cheated, and she starts to pull her attention away from you, you absolutely cannot go chasing her. If a woman pulls back from you again, you cannot go chasing her. You cannot. If she pulls back, you have to pull back. And you do not reach out to her. You do not like any of her pictures. You do not accept anything. You don't accept her liking your pictures. None of that. What you need to do is you go the other way. When she go this way, you go that way. Period. That's the only way a woman will see that you're not with the bullshit. If you go chasing her, if you go trying to reason with her, now she has a tool in her arsenal to get what she needs from you, or to get things right when she feel like shit ain't going her way, or when she feel like she need to manipulate you or not be held accountable. She knows that she can use this and it's going to affect you. You have to go the other way. And when they come back, you let them know, hey, listen, I'm not with the bullshit. I'm not with that flaky shit. I'm not with all of that hot and cold shit. You're going to either shit or you're going to get off the pot. And when you get off that pot, you're going to have to stay off that pot. There's no coming back. So you need to make up your mind on what you're going to do. You in or you out. You see what I'm saying? And you make sure you get that commitment. And then when you get that commitment, right, when you get that, okay, I understand, you let them know. Or when you get that, hey, I'm in, I'm fucking with you, cool, you let them know. Don't do that no more. If you do that again, I can't do this. You see what I'm saying? And the only thing you're looking for is, okay, I understand, my apologies. Anything other than that, no deal, no game. We're not entertaining anything other than that. You have to do it that way, and you have to establish yourself. You don't get emotional. You don't get upset. You don't cry. You don't chase. You don't spill your heart out. None of that. Hey, listen, I ain't doing that. That's not what we doing. You shit or you get off this pot. And when you get off that pot, you stay off that pot. If you move your feet, you're going to lose your seat, period. And a woman have to know that you mean that. That woman that I told you that did that shit, the little shit, the last time that I was just telling you about, she know that I mean that. She know that I mean that. When you move your seat, you lose your. When you move your feet, you gonna lose your seat around this motherfucker. Period. I'm not holding up my train for no flaky ass bullshit or nobody playing no games with me. We not doing that. Don't play games with me. I'm not the one to be played with. You have to let your women know, I am not the one to be played with. I will get rid of your ass. I'm not dealing with the headaches. I'm not dealing with the stress. I'm not dealing with the flaky bullshit. I'm not dealing with none of that. You gonna treat me right, and you gonna give me 100% like I'm giving you 100%. Anything else, there's no deal. You have to let women know that. If you don't, and you have to stand on that. You have to stand on that. If a woman don't see that you're about that, you're never going to have a good relationship. You're never going to have a woman who respects and admires you. Go look at some of my comments. If you read my comments on my Instagram threads, whenever I'm talking about anything where a man's standing up and talking about boundaries, you'll see a lot of women in the comments saying, my husband was the first man to do this and I respect him so much for it. The man I'm with now, he was the first guy to put boundaries on me and let it be known and stand up for himself, and I respect that so much and I love him for that. You're not going to have no good, fruitful relationship if you cannot do that. So when they start to pull in the bullshit, they're going to always try it one time, but you have to nip it in the bud right then and there. If you don't, they're going to always do it. And every time that I had, hey, listen, you shouldn't have getting off that pot, bro. And it was after. Now you can't, when they pull back and they pulling away, you can't text them, hey, you got to should have get off the pot. What you going to do? You can't do that. You have to wait until they come back to you. And don't let them come back to you throwing pussy on you. Don't let them, listen. When a woman pull back, again, I'm going to say it again. When a woman pull back from you, you need to go the other way. You pull away too, and you do not engage with them until they come back to you on some other shit. Until they come back to you cooperating with the understanding of that's not happening again. Don't let them come back trying to suck you dry. Don't let them come back trying to give you some head and put some pussy on you so they can forget it. No, Don't do that or you out. When you move your feet, you lose your seat. Do you understand me? That's the only way to deal with it. Don't let them come back trying to manipulate you and all that shit. That's the only time. That's the only way you deal with it. Again, when they pull away, you don't go, hey, you should have get out the pot, move your feet. You don't do that. You do that when they come back. Now, when a woman sees that she can't do that to you, it shows strength. It shows the ability that you have the ability to be alone rather than deal with bullshit. And that is respectable by anybody. Anybody can respect that. You see what I'm saying? So that's how to deal with pullbacks. You do not negotiate with terrorists. You do not chase terrorists. You do not engage with bullshit. The only time you engage with a woman is when she's doing right by you. It ain't nothing to argue about. It ain't nothing to fight over. Straight up. Make sure you communicate in this in the beginning before it happens. And it's still going to happen. But when it do, you need to be strong enough to, hey, it may feel like you're going to lose out and shit, but trust me, they'll be back, bro. They always come back. If you're doing everything that you need to do, if you meeting needs and you that dude, they're going to always come back because you're rare. You're rare. You see what I'm saying? So that's how to deal with pullbacks. Now, let's get into why women pull back so I can, help you guys understand it so you can know how to deal with it. Let's get into why women pull back so you can have a thorough understanding on how to, once you have that thorough understanding, you can develop a thorough strategy or a thorough counter strategy, or you can develop a thorough game plan or a thorough solution on, how to deal with it in your own way. Because I just basically gave you the template, but you don't talk the way that I talk. You know what I'm saying? You have to develop your own game, but I just gave you the foundation to build upon. But once you understand it, you'll know when and what to say and how. So let's get into that. Now, let's get into why women pull back. And again, on these YouTube streets, on social media, let everybody tell it when a woman pulls back, it's because there's another dude, she's going to fuck somebody else and blah, 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 blah. And it's to put you in fear. It's to make you anxious. It's to give you the drama that you're looking for in your life. It's for clicks. You see what I'm saying? It's not to actually help you understand. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you understand so you don't take things so personal, so you're not so scared and in fear. So when your woman pull back and then when she do come back, you think you got to charge her because you think she been fucking and she ain't really been fucking. She just, been crying and shit or something. I'm not saying women don't fuck or women don't cheat and all that, because they do. But every woman ain't on that. And every situation ain't like that. It's not always black and white like that. But anyway, the first reason that women pull back is overstimulation. She's getting way too much stimulation, and different women have different sensory levels. You as a man, you as a seducer, you as the player, you have to understand your woman's level of senses, her sensory levels. You understand what I'm saying? Overstimulation happens when it's too much sensory input and or intense experience, which leads to distress. When you're being too stimulated, you start to you get in a state of distress. You see what I'm saying? And distress could be anything from difficulty concentrating, difficulty relaxing, irritability, difficulty of falling asleep, difficulty in sitting still, restlessness, nervousness or anxiety, fatigue or headaches. This is science. This ain't just my opinion. This ain't just what I think is going on. When you are overstimulated, right? When you are overstimulated, these things can happen to your body. And a lot of the times, you guys are in situations to where you're overstimulating your woman, whether it be too much arguing or too much pleasure. You have to understand your woman's levels of senses, her sensory levels. You see what I'm saying? Too much pleasure can do it too. Too much love, too much positive, too much laughing can make a person overstimulated. You see what I'm saying? Too much drama can make a person overstimulated. And what happens is when a person is overstimulated, they naturally remove themselves from the situation, or they fight with you. If you wanted the perfect example of this, and I have little kids, or just think back to when you was a little kid with your siblings, right? When you see two little kids, at first they playing together, right? They playing together, everything is going good, it's ha, they playing together, and then they start turning on each other and fighting each other. This is what happens in humans, right? With humans, what happens is when we start to become overstimulated by the people that surround us, we tend to go at them and combat them to fight them off so they can go away. It's a natural human response to overstimulation. You understand what I'm saying? We're a lot more irritable and combative with them. And so you're wondering why your woman just got bitchy and everything been going good all of a sudden. You see what I'm saying? Or think about it like, you ever tickle a little kid and you tickle them for too long and they laugh and it's all good and fun and games at first and then they start crying. Anybody ever got tickled like that? I done been tickled like that with a kid. You get they pranking you and they holding you down, tickle you, and they tickle you so much till you actually start crying and it's not funny anymore. That's because you overstimulated. You see what I'm saying? And this happens in relationships, and this happens with your woman. You have to be careful not to overstimulate your woman. Now, this is the key, because you can have all the game and you can be doing everything that you need to be doing, right? And making sure you keeping everything balanced and you giving your woman space when she needed and all that. But what if you have a woman who likes to give a lot of love? Right? Or what if you have a woman who's a little bit more needy and they need more love and they just want to be around you and they're not aware of what's going on, because a lot of women are not aware. It's your job as the man, as the leader, to understand these things. So if you have a situation like that, what happens is your woman smothers herself with you and then she get overstimulated and she starts to pull back from you. Either she pull back or she get more combative. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand that, and you have to make sure you're leading. You lead in the charge. When you start to notice that, okay, when the pleasure is getting too much pleasure and it's, everything is going good, I'm not saying you pull back, but give your woman a break so she can process the emotions and then she can miss you and then she can engage again. But if you let it stew and you let it stew and you let it stew, she's going to take her a little bit of space so she can process her emotion. But what happens is when she's take the space, a lot of you guys chase her because you think something wrong. You're not meant to be in a constant state of pleasure, a constant state of love all the time, 24/7. That shit'll get tiring and it'll get draining and it'll overstimulate you. And it'll give you all those symptoms and side effects that I just named earlier: difficulty concentrating, difficulty relaxing, irritability, difficulty falling asleep, nervousness and anxiety, fatigue, headaches, restlessness. This is what happens when you overstimulate it. This is real shit, and this is real game. This is the real game. That's why I'm the coldest. I'm the coldest motherfucker to do this. I'm the coldest player alive, because this is the type of shit that I understand going into my relationships and my situations. This is the type of shit that I was learning. You see what I'm saying? It takes a real master level player, a real leader, to understand his woman's levels of senses and her sensitivity levels and shit like that, so he can know when to engage and know when to back off, know when to engage and know when to give her space. That's when you have a woman who's like, oh, I just love him so much, he knows how to handle me. Y'all think when women say, oh, he knows how to handle me, I need a man who knows how to handle me, y'all think that women are saying they want a man who know how to deal with their bullshit. What they saying is they want a woman who knows this stuff, who knows when to give them what they need, when to back off, how to deal with them and shit like that. That's what they mean. That's when you get women say, he know how to handle me, I love him so much, he just knows me, he got it figured out, he just knows my ins and outs and shit. You have to learn this, and you can learn this by paying attention to your woman. You see what I'm saying? Pay attention to your woman. Pay attention to the women you meet, and you'll notice that women are different. Different women have different sensitivity levels. Different women have different sensory levels. You see what I'm saying? Certain women can be around you for a week straight, just all lovey-dovey. Some women, after two days, they like, oh shit. Some women after 30 minutes, they like, oh shit, I gotta. And that don't mean that something is wrong with them because they can't take love for a week straight. That don't mean something is wrong with them. And it don't mean something is wrong with the woman because she can be in love for a week straight or be all mushy gushy for a week straight. Different people are different based on their experiences and where they come from and their genetic makeup. So you can't look at it, but like, a lot of you guys may say, oh, well, something must be wrong with her. She don't want to be in love all 24/7 and mushy gushy. No, she just different. You see what I'm saying? But if you know how to play on that, if you know how to lead that, if you know how to provide and meet those needs in a way that it's not overstimulating. You become the man in her eyes. You see what I'm saying? But you got to be careful not to overstimulate your woman or let her overstimulate you. Now, I'm going to go into a little sidebar, right? I'm going to go into a little sidebar because a lot of you guys, when you meet us, a lot of women have a lot of love to give, right? Or you may have a lot of love to give and it may be more than a woman. There's guys who lover boys, right? I'm not a lover boy, right? I don't have the amount of love that a lot of women have in them. Like to be in mushy I don't have that in me to be like that, right? That don't mean something is wrong with me, but that's not who I am. Now, you may have a woman who's just full of love, and that's how they feel good. That's what makes them tick. That's what gives them life, by giving love and being nurturing and shit like that. That can be overstimulating. You see what I'm saying? That can wear a person down. And what happens is, when you have a person, and this is just important, I just wanted to throw this in here. When you have a person, or when you have a woman who have a lot of love to give, just so much love to give, a lot of feminine women are like that too. It's got a lot of love to give. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say all of them or even most of them, but you're gonna meet women like this, right? They have a lot of love to give. What happens is you don't have the same amount of love that they have to give, right? You trying to match them or you trying to reciprocate that is going to drain you. You trying to get even with that is going to drain you. What you have to do in a situation like that is make sure your girl understands the dynamic between she got a lot of love, you ain't that full of love, but you have to be open to receiving the love that she give, and you have to love her in her way back. You see what I'm saying? A lot of women like that, and in a second I'm gonna get on, women who say they love hard versus women with a lot of love to give. It's a difference. When you have a woman with a lot of love to give, as long as you receiving the love and you receptive and you're not being toxic with it, they cool with that. You don't have to give it back to them. You see what I'm saying? So just understand that, but you need to make sure that your woman understands that, not everybody have that amount of love in them to give to them. Everybody don't show their love like that. Everybody's not like that, right? But you got to be careful as to not drain yourself trying to keep up with a woman who's full of love, who's, lovey-dovey all the time and wants to do, you got to be open to receive it. Just know you don't have to give it back. You don't have to tell them I love you all day, every day like they doing to you. You don't have to be like, oh, I miss you too. You don't have to do that. And if you have the right one, she'll understand that. And all she wants you to do is just receive her love. You see what I'm saying? But you do have to make sure that she's not overstimulating you as well, because that shit can get tiring. You see what I'm saying? There are women who they got a whole lot of love to give. There are guys who got a whole lot of love to give, and that makes them feel good by loving on their people and loving on their partner. Makes them feel feminine. Well, at least for the women, it makes certain men, it makes them feel like they're a man when they can show their woman love and being all lover boy and all that shit. I ain't no lover boy though. You see what I'm saying? Now, there's a huge difference between I love hard and I have a lot of love to give. There are women who have a lot of love to give. That's a woman who likes to be nurturing, who likes to tell you, good morning, baby. Good morning, sexy. Love on you. Oh, I miss you. I love you so much. They like to feel they shit. They like to, that's cool, right? That's that woman. That's the woman who has a lot of love to give. Now you have women who love hard. When you have a woman who loves hard, if you ever hear I love hard, that's a red flag. I talked about it before. Women who love hard, they're loving on you. They're doing this thing so they can get something back from you, so they can get that amount of love back from you. And you don't have that to give to them, you're going to have a problem. People who love hard are really empty. I love hard, so they go above and beyond to get the love, right? They go above and beyond to show the love because they want that type of love back. What happens is when you don't give them that type of love back because it ain't in you, they gonna get that shit in blood. They gonna get it one way or the other. So they gonna get the energy back by you loving them, or they gonna get it back by drama. So you have to be careful. It's a big difference between I love hard and women who have a lot of love, or women who love to love. That's what we're gonna call it. There are women who love to love, and then women who love hard. That's the difference, right? You have to make sure, right, that if you have a woman like this, she is not the type in order, that loves in order to give, to receive. You have to make sure that you don't have one of these type of women that loves hard. And the easiest way to see that, let's say she expresses an emotion, right? Let's see if she expresses an emotion, or she says, I love you, I miss you, right? If you don't say it back, or if you don't, match that, it'll be a problem, right? Now, don't just, if a woman, because I don't want you guys to ignore your woman when she's showing you love. So let's say if a woman say, I love you, or let's say if a woman say, I miss you, right? You make sure you open to receiving that, send them, I appreciate that, or, send them a kissy face emoji, or whatever you're going to do, or send them a gift with a hug, or send them the melt emoji, or whatever, right? You don't necessarily have to pull that out of you to give to them if you don't have that type of energy, right? And again, the woman who loves to love will understand that, and they're not going to trip on that. So I'm not saying ignore your woman when she expresses herself, but the women who gonna have a problem with it, the I love hard women, when you don't meet that back, it's gonna be an issue. They're gonna make that an issue when you're not doing something that they feel like, oh, well, I did this for you, I want the same back. You gotta be reciprocal, match my energy and all this old bullshit. Instead of understanding that y'all two different people and y'all love different. Y'all show love different. Y'all have different love levels. You see what I'm saying? Everybody don't have just, everybody don't love the love. You know what I'm saying? So you guys have to understand that. But that's the first reason that women pull back from you. It's overstimulation. And again, fellas, you have to make sure it is imperative that you make sure you're not overstimulating your woman. You're not letting your woman overstimulate you, and you're not letting her overstimulate y'all together because she's just this type of person and you just feeding into it, or you just giving her what she wants. She'll smother herself and then start pulling back on your ass. You see what I'm saying? So you have to make sure you lead in the situation the best way, that's progressive, and you guys can both progress through it and have a healthy situation. You have to be leading this. And again, you have to figure out and understand and know your woman's, how much love she have to give, where she come from, her sensory levels and all that. You have to know that as a man, as a leader, as the boss in your relationship. If you want to be looked at up to like a king and like a leader, you got to know shit like that. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, overstimulation. Let's move on to the next one. Now, let me say this before we move on to the next one real quick. Now, if it's a situation to where you understand and you understanding that, maybe it's a situation to where it's like overstimulation, a woman she shouldn't pull back too hard. She should just, give her a little bit she should take a little bit of space. Let her have her space. When she comes back to you, right? That ain't nothing really to trip over. That ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Because you understand, hey, she just overstimulated. She needed a little space. Let her go for a little walk. Let her chill out for a couple of days or whatever. It's not like she's like, she just trying to process shit. Women need time to process. Women need to process their emotions. So things like that, when you understand that it's a situation to where, she's being overstimulated or something like that, then, that requires a little bit of grace. Now, if you're the type that, you want communication, then you let them know, hey, if you're going to take a little space, that's cool. I expect that. I appreciate that. But just let me know what's going on so I ain't thinking nothing crazy. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to implement that. Me personally, I let them take their space. If I understand it, that's the situation. We get into a situation where we become too, overstimulating each other and shit like that. So I just wanted to say that. But moving on, the second reason that a woman may pull back from you is manipulation. This is the oldest tactic in the book to manipulate somebody. Is to pull away from them. And usually when a woman is going to manipulate you and she's using this to manipulate you, it's usually when things are going good. You see what I'm saying? When things are going good and she starts to pull back, it's usually a form of manipulation. Or it could be something else. It can be, she may be intimidated or she may be scared, which is, I'll get to that I'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's usually one of those things. It's more than likely manipulation though. That's something you want to deal with. And when she come back, you let her know exactly what it is. I look at you trying to, to me, you trying to manipulate me, and that's not what we're doing. So again, you're gonna shit or get off the pot. You move your feet, you lose your seat. You get that whole spiel. But when a woman wants to have leverage over you, right? When a woman wants to have leverage over you, there are women out here who want power over men. All women ain't just want to be submissive to a man. All women ain't like that. There are women who is in them based on where they come from, the things that they've been through, that want power over men. They want to have the control in the relationship for whatever reason. Maybe it's because they feel safest when they control the dynamics. They don't feel so vulnerable when they're submitting to a man, whether it be nefarious reasons, like they just like to take advantage of people, whatever the reason may be. There are women who want power and leverage over a man. And a lot of the times they'll come in soft and they'll feign like, sweet, submissive, and then they'll pull back on you. And that's how they get the leverage on you. Unexpected when everything going good. But when a woman wants to have leverage over you or power over you, she will take her attention and her energy away. This is a classic manipulation tactic. Do not fall for it. It's classic. Everything is going good. Everything is just going perfect. It's all lovey-dovey, and all of a sudden she starts to get cold and distant. She wants leverage over you. She take her attention away. She take her energy away. She's trying to manipulate you. She wants leverage and power over you to control you. It's a classic tactic. That's the oldest trick in the book. Don't fall for it. Or they'll pull away from you. They'll manipulate you, when something is not going their way, right? When something is not going their way, or it's time for them to be held accountable, or let's say you catch them doing something, they start to pull away or they go the other way, right? It's time to be held accountable, or they do something wrong or whatever, they'll pull away. Or again, when things are not going their way, when they feel like, they may be losing a power struggle, or they ain't getting what they want or whatever, they pull away from you, and it's a manipulation tactic. Now, another reason that they manipulate you in this way is when, she wants something from you, like a gift or something, and you don't do it. What they'll do is they'll stop talking to you. They'll pull back hard. A woman like this is with you for material reasons. If you ever in a situation to where a woman asks you for a purse, or a woman asks you for a ring or some material bullshit, and you don't give it to her, and she pull back away from you, that you should cut her off and don't ever let her come back to you, because she's in it for the wrong reasons. Trust me. You see what I'm saying? It's okay for, let's say you with a woman and she's been pouring into you. And, she asks you for something and you don't give it to her for whatever reason. It's okay for her to be salty. Like, that's cool. You've had a little attitude or whatever. But for her to like withdraw her attention and not answer the phone for you and just, basically put you on ice, she's trying to let you know that if you don't buy me shit, I'm gone. A woman like that is not in it for the right reasons. You should cut that off. When she come back to you, you shouldn't even accept her back. That's a situation to where you don't accept a woman back. You don't have to give her the whole speech. You need to kick her to the fucking curb. And I actually had a client that just went through that. One of my supporters just messaged me about that. Woman wanted him to buy him. A woman wanted him to buy her some shit. I should go on Instagram and read the message, but that's gonna take too much time. But she wanted him to buy her a gift, and maybe it was a purse or some shit, a Chanel bag, want something, and he didn't do it for it was for New Year's or Christmas or something. He didn't do it, and she like completely cut him off. And she got really cold with him. And I told him, bruh, she basically using you and you don't even see it. Don't let her back, but when a woman wants to manipulate you in that way, to get something out of you, or something ain't going her way, or get leverage or power over you, she'll pull back and she'll take her attention away, because she know that you just gonna chase her, and it's gonna open you up. And once you opened up emotionally, once you confused and open emotionally, it's easy for a person to have their way with you. You see what I'm saying? Now, the next reason that a woman may pull back from you, and this is a legitimate reason, is heartbreak, right? If you break a woman's heart, if you hurt her feelings, naturally they're going to pull away from you to protect themselves. This is natural and this is fine. Now, there's a lot of things that you guys may do that may hurt your girl's feelings, or, you know, that may hurt your girl's feelings or break her heart, that may not be as overt or may not be in your face, like cheating. Of course, cheating and lying, you know, physical abuse, all of these things. If you do any of this stuff, a woman more than likely going to pull away from your ass, especially like a physical abuse or, you know, shit like that. She more than likely going to leave you. But if she don't, she going to pull her attention. She gonna clam up and pull away from your ass. And all of this stuff is in an effort to protect her heart and to protect her feelings. You see what I'm saying? And to protect their vulnerability. This is understandable. This is supposed to happen. This is natural. So the way to rid yourself of this is not to do any of this bullshit. Don't be cheating and don't be fucking lying and don't be breaking trust and, you know, verbal abuse and physical abuse. You shouldn't be doing no shit like that anyway. You see what I'm saying? But there are times when you may do something that you don't know that may break your girl heart, or that may you know, hurt your girl feelings or something. You see what I'm saying? Let's say it's something like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that may be, you know, covert or underhanded that you may not know. Let's say you compliment the waiter or something. You tell the waiter she looked nice today or something like that, you know, but your girl like compliments and you don't give her no compliments. They may hurt her feelings. That's petty shit. That's maybe a little, for me, that'll be a little too petty, but, you know, me personally, I wouldn't be in no situation like that because I know if my woman like compliments or not. But it's things that, I'm saying that to say that it's things that you may do that it may not be your intentions to hurt a person, and you do it and it hurts the person. In that situation, in a situation like that, it's understand that a person gathers themselves to protect their feelings and protect their heart. But when they do come back, you want to explain to them in a situation like that, to where you know they've done something to you, or they explain, hey, this is why I kind of like been to myself because you did this and it's make me feel like that. What you want to do is you want to acknowledge it. Don't invalidate a woman's feelings. You know what I'm saying? Don't invalidate the feelings. Acknowledge it and say, you know, I didn't understand that, but, you know, next time what I would like you to do is communicate that with me so we can get a level of communication, because I don't like the, you know, playing distant and getting distant thing. You know what I'm saying? I like a level of consistency. You see what I'm saying? And I can respect you, and I respect that, and I can give you what you need, and I can respect you and make sure I'm not hurting you, and make sure I'm doing the things that you need so you can, you know, thrive in this situation, happy and perfect. But what I'm gonna need you to do is communicate these things with me. If I do something that you don't like, I'm going to, you know, please let me know. You see what I'm saying? So we could fix that. And listen, when your woman is giving you concerns, listen. What happens is, you guys remember, you have to create an environment for your woman to feel safe, secure with her emotions, all emotions, not just the good emotions. In order for a woman to be free in love and submissive, this needs to be there. And so when your woman comes to you with a problem, don't shut it down and don't invalidate their feelings. And let me give you guys some game. I know this is saying feels before reals. Just because a person feel like that don't mean that they right. That's true. That's 100% true. But you have to make sure you're not invalidating your woman's feelings. She feels like that. You don't have to agree with it, but don't tell her she crazy because she feels like that. Don't tell me that her feelings don't tell her that they don't count because they just feelings and that they should live in their head. Everybody don't live in their head, because on that other foot, she can tell you that your logic is stupid. You telling a woman that her feelings is wrong, or her feelings don't exist, or they not real because they feelings, is the equivalent to her telling you your logic is flawed, or your logic is stupid, or your logic don't make sense. It's the same thing. Women, the reason that you guys don't understand a woman's emotions is because you're not a woman. Women have the gift. Women have the gift from God to move based on their emotions and make the right decisions based on their emotions and be sensitive to feelings. A woman can walk in the room. A woman can walk in a house that's full of danger, right? And a woman can feel like something is off. She'll say, something doesn't feel right in here. A man can walk in that same house and he has the gift of logic and things making sense and putting things in order. He can look around and say, something doesn't seem right. Something is off. Something is out of place. They both sense danger. The man and the woman sense danger. They just sense it at different levels because we two different creatures. Women operate on their emotions. Not that they don't have logic. Like they, not that we don't have emotions, but typically we don't make decisions based on emotions, and women don't typically make decisions based on logic. They they let their emotions guide them, and God gave them that gift. Intuition and all that shit is real. It's real. We just don't have that gift that they have. They don't. Just because you don't understand it or you can't feel it, don't mean that it don't exist. And you guys have to be mindful of that. And I said all that to say, though, when your woman comes to you with a problem or a concern, or she feel like you did something to her, acknowledge it. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to submit to it or whatever, but don't invalidate it, because when you do that one time and you start to invalidate your woman's feelings, you're going to get a different woman. You're not going to get the woman that's open, trusting, freely in love, freely submissive and vulnerable and feminine. She's going to start to give you a more masculine version of herself. Trust me. So make sure you're giving your woman the space to express herself, and don't invalidate feelings. Just because you logical don't mean that her feelings don't exist. Now, sometimes they feelings be bullshit. And it's like, how can you even feel like that? That's true. But that don't mean she don't have them motherfuckers. So just don't, I'm telling you, invalidating a woman's feelings is one of the worst things you can do as a player, as a leader in a relationship. And I know a lot of this shit teach you, feels over real. Just because you feel like that, her feelings don't mean shit. Don't let guys steer you down the wrong lane. If you want a happy, healthy relationship, whether it be a relationship or a situationship, if you want that shit to last, and you want a woman who's submissive and free and in love, you have to give your woman room to express her feelings, and she has to feel safe in her feelings, the good and the bad feelings. You cannot invalidate a woman's feelings. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the next reason that a woman may pull back, is disrespect. You disrespecting her. Fellas, you have to be respectful too. I teach you guys to respect. Yeah, make sure your woman respecting you, making sure your woman respecting you, making sure your woman respect you. One of the components of a woman respecting you is you being a respectable person. You respecting her, you respecting other people, you not being a disrespectful person. You have to lead by example. Yeah, you're going to command respect, but you also have to give respect too. You see what I'm saying? Again, the same woman, right? I'm a man of respect. You're going to respect me. You ain't going to try me, this and this and this and that. The same woman that I was telling you about earlier who did the little pullback shit. There was a picture. She posted a picture online, or she posted something online, right? And I made a sexual comment, and I made a sexual joke in the comments, right? And so she hit me up on the back end like, that's kind of disrespectful. And I didn't understand how or why, but I'm not going to, shut her down like, I ain't disrespect you. This is what I meant. You just going to take it. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to argue with that. If that's how she feel about that, then I'm going to listen. I'm going to, hear you out. Okay, why do you feel like that? Because I want to get an understanding, because I don't see how. I don't think I did. I was just making a joke, but let me hear you out. You know what I'm saying? So she explained to me that, and I'm open to me not being a bullhead, because a real leader, I'm not a dictator. I'm a real leader, and leaders listen. That's how we grow. We listen. That's how the people around us, they happy because we listen to them and we address their concerns. If I was a bullhead, I wouldn't even understood this. And she said something to me that made sense. And it helps me in the long run. What she said to me was, she was like, I go out of my way to not sexualize myself online, because I don't want to draw that type of attention to myself, a sexual energy. I don't want guys seeing me like that, in that type of way. And so when you do that, you show the other men that it's okay for them to sexualize me when you do that. That's why I find it disrespectful. And that shit made a whole lot of sense. And I'm like, if I'm going to be fucking with you, I don't want you to be sexualized online either. So I got you. It makes sense. The last dude she was dealing with, or the other dude she may have was dealing with, bullheaded and they don't want to, oh, well, I just because you feel like that, I don't agree, da, 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 da. I actually learned something. So now me and her could never, ever talk again. I know not to do that because it makes sense. If a person put up something that's not sexual and I sexualize it in the comments, in public, in front of everybody, other guys are going to see that that's okay. You see what I'm saying? And so I said that to say, let's say I would have gave her some bullshit or be like, okay, whatever, you tripping. I ain't mean it like that. It was a joke. Ha ha, shut up, whatever, right? She more than likely would have pulled back. And what I'm saying is women pull back for disrespect. When they feel like you've disrespected them or when they feel like you've disrespected them and, they don't get no understanding, they'll pull back from you until you get your mind right. Now, all women won't do this, but a woman who values themselves, like the woman that you want, the woman who value themselves will remove themselves from situations to where they being disrespected. Any woman who values herself, any woman who has self-respect, self-worth is not going to let you disrespect them or violate them. They the same way how you feel about yourself and value yourself, they value themselves too. But these are the best types of women to have, women who have boundaries, women who have self-respect. You want a woman like this. You don't want no woman who's going to be overly sexual on the internet or don't have standards for herself or don't value herself, because these are women who don't value themselves are easy to fuck and anybody could fuck them. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is you have to understand that if a woman, you do something where a woman may feel like you disrespected her, even if you don't agree with it, listen and hear them out, because you may learn something like I learned something. That shit made all the sense to me. I would never do that again because she's right. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay for the chick that you fucking with to be right if they right. That don't make me any less of a man. That don't make me no punk, no submissive dude, no nothing. She was right. She got a point. And you have to be fair in your situations as a leader. You can't be no dictator, or you can't be no my way or the highway, I'm always right. Now, it is my way or the highway, but I'm always right, and whatever you say is wrong. Just because you feel like that don't mean it ain't, whatever. You see what I'm saying? She felt like that was disrespectful, and boom. Okay, you got it. Never again. But again, had I not acknowledged that and addressed that, she more than likely would have pulled away from me. Guaranteed 100%, because she a woman who got self-respect, who has respect for herself. So that's that. Now, another reason that a woman may pull away from you is if she's intimidated by you. Yes, women pull away from you or they pull back from you if they get with you and they're intimidated by you when they meet you and you have your shit together. I'm going to tell you some real shit. A lot of women today don't know what to do with a dude who got his shit together. I'm going to say that again. A lot of women today do not know what to do with a guy who have his shit together. And so what happens is they get with you, right? They start fucking with you, and it makes them uncomfortable because they so intimidated by you. And in order to not be vulnerable and to protect themselves, they'll pull away from you. They'll pull back from you. It's not even a thing to where they trying to manipulate you. They just don't know how to fucking handle you. You see what I'm saying? And you have to understand that a lot of women are used to dudes who bottom of the barrel. The majority of men out here is on some bullshit. And I'm a man saying that. That's why as a guy, I don't have many friends. I have a lot of associates. I know a lot of guys, but I don't have too many guys that I could call my personal friends. It ain't too many, because I don't fuck with just anybody. A lot of dudes be on some bullshit. A lot of dudes be on some dusty shit. A lot of dudes be on some bullshit. A lot of dudes be on some buster shit, some dusty shit. A lot of dudes just be on bullshit. And that's what women are used to dealing with. And so when they see a man who got it, they don't even know what to do when they see you and your shit together. And you got standards, and and you know what I'm saying? You got self-respect, and you moving with integrity, and you got a lot of shit going on. They don't even know what to do with you. And so they get intimidated, and then they pull back from you. You see what I'm saying? Another reason they get intimidated is if you got your shit together and they see that you have options. A woman may see like, okay, this dude got his shit together. I know he got bitches. A lot of women, Y'all think that all women want that type of competition anxiety, and it just turns them on when you got a bunch of hoes. All women ain't like that, bruh. A lot of women are not like that. And that makes them uncomfortable to the point that they would rather just not fuck with you, if that means that they're going to have to feel uncomfortable and anxious. You see what I'm saying? Because you got hoes chasing you, got a lot of hoes on you. A lot of women can't sit with those type of anxious emotions like that. And so they'll pull away from you. They'll put some space in between y'all two. They may not stop fucking with you, but what they're doing is good guarding their heart. Now, if you're a player like me, you know how to fix that. You just reassure them. You reassure them that so long as they treat you good, they're going to always have that spot in your life. You ain't got nothing to worry about if you treat me good. You're not going to never stop fucking with them so long as you're doing everything that she need to be doing. You see what I'm saying? It's ways you can fix that. You can get around that. But what I'm saying is women do pull back because they may be intimidated by you. Again, I know they tell you, oh, women get turned on when you got other women. No, what happens is, now there are some women who get turned on by that. But what happens is, in most women, is there's a thing that kicks in and it's like, okay, I got to do what I got to do to land him. And so they go into overdrive. That's not being turned on. That's a difference. That don't make they pussy wet for them to do that. But they just know that most dudes out here on some bullshit. This is a catch. I may have to work harder. I may have to send more good morning texts. I may have to suck it a little bit harder. But that don't make they pussy wet to do that. It's a very uncomfortable thing for them to do. But they're willing to do it so long as they feel like they have the potential to land you. I want you guys to understand that. So don't always think that throwing women in a woman's face is just gonna make her just like, oh God, he's so sexy. Let me just, he's the fucking alpha male. He's select or whatever they call it. Shout out to my man Ron Wills. This ain't no shot. That's what he call it, select. But all women don't think like that, bro. A lot of women don't think like that. A lot of women see that like, oh, I'm straight. And it may remind them of the dude that they was fucking with that was like that. They broke their heart. And so you remind them of that. And that's a trigger. And they get out of dodge, or they put up space between you and them so they can protect themselves. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't always, oh, if a woman pull back from you, she fucking some other dude. Trust me. No, bro. It's a lot of shit going on. It's a lot of shit that could be going on. The next is fear. It's just like I was just talking about, fear. Women may be scared to fuck with you because you such a high caliber dude. They may be scared that, you gonna cheat on them. A lot of women think I'm gonna cheat on them. When I deal with it, they think I'm a cheater. I used to cheat like a motherfucker, but I ain't no cheater no more. I don't know, I don't look like no cheater. I be like looking raggedy half the time, But it is what it is. I know I'm a handsome dude and shit, but I don't cheat no more. I'm too old for that. But fear will make a woman pull back from you in order to protect themselves. Again, you may got too many hoes. You may have your shit together. She may not know what to do with you. She's just scared, right? I'm going to give you guys one more, and then we're going to get out of here, right? We're going to get out of here because I think I'm over my hour. I may be over my hour. I ain't checked my time yet, but all women don't want relationships. And a lot of the problems that you having, you guys, especially you younger guys, you guys having the problem is you meet a woman and everything is good. Like everything is going smooth for a month or two, and you try to rush into a relationship and a woman pull back from you because they not ready for that right now. They just out here, right? So a woman may want something casual in the moment. She may be open to something long term, but she may be filling her options out, and she just having fun and doing her thing. That don't mean she may be fucking a million different people, but she's not ready to, be committal at this moment for whatever reason. She may be fucking a million dudes. She may be fucking one other dudes. She may be studying in school, or she got a heavy workload or whatever. But whatever the moment is, she's not ready. She just kind of want to keep it casual and have fun. But when you giving boyfriend energy, that scares them, and that pushes them away. And so they'll pull back from you when you acting like that. You see what I'm saying? When you start giving the boyfriend vibes, when you start acting like you wanted her to be in a relationship with you, if she not on that, she's going to pull back. She's going to pull back. So you got to be careful about giving the boyfriend vibes. The best way to do that, and go get the Ultimate Ladies Man Summit. I teach you how not to give boyfriend vibes. All the things that you do to give boyfriend vibes, I break that down and how not to do it. But just don't act like you want to, don't be so in a hurry to be in a relationship, especially if she ain't said that she want that. When women want to be in a relationship with you, they going to let you know. Trust me. When women want to be in a relationship, they are going to let you know. So there's no need to try to rush no woman into a relationship because you're going to scare her away. You see what I'm saying? Now, another reason, and this is the obvious reason, this is the reason everybody talking about, you being a simp. You start simping too much. You start getting weak. You start getting needy, and she not getting her needs met. She not getting these biological needs met because you acting like a bitch. She'll pull away from you. You see what I'm saying? That's an obvious one. That's the one that's always talked about. Now, I know I said one more, but now it's really one more because we going off the dome now. But I want to make sure I get this out. Now, the last reason that a woman may pull away from you is because there's another dude. Women can't serve two masters. They can't be just nice and happy and sweet and submissive with two dudes at the same time. And when one is making them feel good, they'll go to the other one. Or the baby daddy call back, it's over for your ass. They start to pull back and they start to sabotage. You see what I'm saying? Or something better came along. She met something that she thought was going to be better than you, and she pulled back from you. She pulled away from you. This typically happens in the beginning of a situation when there's not a strong connection established, when there's not a strong attachment built. So you have to learn how to build connections and build attachments, which I teach you in my courses. Go to SaveABroAcademy.com, or 3 Secrets to Make a Woman Fall in Love with You. January 21st at 8 p.m. Go register right now for free. Send me an Instagram DM that says secrets, or click the link in the description or the bio. But anyway, you don't have good connection building skills. You don't know how to get women attached to you. And what happens if a woman ain't attached to you and she out at a party or she go to brunch and fucking tall Drake come in there looking good with his Versace shades on, looking all good and fucking handsome, and I spit at her, she gonna pull back from you because I'm more than likely gonna be a better experience. So there's another dude that has potential with a better experience than you, she gonna start pulling away from you. But that one was obvious. You know what I'm saying? So that could be a reason too. When a woman is pulling away from you, there's a better option. But everybody already taught you that. But I just wanted to give you guys some things that guys don't talk about and lift the hood up a lot more so you can understand what's going on, so you can have an action plan based on the scenarios that you in, because all scenarios require different things. Now, always remember, when it comes to you pulling back, when you have to pull back, you need to pull back whenever a woman's not playing ball, whenever she's disrespectful, whenever she's not treating you right, you remove yourself from the situation. But when it comes to a woman pulling back, you need to, when she comes back to you, remember, you don't chase her. Right? What you want to do is when she come back, you let her know that ain't flying. If she do it again, it's cool. Again, the reason not to chase her and not to go after her, because you don't want her to see that that's the type of shit that you'll allow. And you want her to see that when you move your feet, you're going to lose. When you move your feet, you're going to lose your seat. And somebody else going to be sitting in this motherfucker. I'm not tolerating your games. I'm not tolerating that. And she has to see that strength. So when she comes back to you, you need to communicate why you're not doing it. You need to communicate that you're not doing it no more, and you let her know why. And there ain't no arguing or debating. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, that's the pullback game. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Go sign up for my free class, free by the way. 3 Secrets to Make a Woman Fall in Love with You. Click the link in the bio, or send me a DM on Instagram at King Dreism that says secrets. Also, guys, join the Players Club, theplayersclub.vip. I see you guys on the inside. It's your gracious game advisor. Yours truly, King Dre. I'm gone.